I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. If I heaver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's heavering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. But I'm walking, 'cause I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home.
Oh, it's a bit hot to dance, really, isn't it?
Yeah, even as I was doing that, I was kind of thinking, I'm going to boil myself alive in here.
Horrible. Well, we seem to be live, so we had a bit of a hitch last week, but we seem to be okay now. So hello everybody, and welcome to another thrilling episode of That Album. And I'm joined by my daughter, Madelaine. Although you are Madelaine Gray rather than Madelaine Reid.
I know, that was a real misstep on my part.
Yeah, a little bit. So 1988. Well, it's interesting actually, because as I was just checking out, not a lot of great albums seem to come out this year. Straight Outta Compton, NWA, and Now and Then, Robert Plant, were out. Quite a good year for films. Rain Man, Die Hard, Big, Beetlejuice. Hi, Paula. Hi, Andrew. Need to wave to Andrew, and he always waves back at the screen. And of course, this album. So oh, hi, indeed, Yayan. Oh, hi. So why Sunshine on Leith?
Well, I think there are so many recognizable songs on this album, right? So once you start listening to it all the way through, you just realize that it basically is hit after hit. But also I have spent the best part of the last year living in Glasgow for my master's degree, of course. So there are a few songs in here which really had a lot of meaning to the people that I was meeting who had grown up in Glasgow. And I think that sort of gave me a new appreciation for the music, maybe beyond the fact that there are just some great tunes on here.
Yeah, and I remember we were driving back from Glasgow when we put this on, when I came up to pick you up.
I think there and back, to be honest.
Yeah, and it does seem like it's a bit of an album that, yeah, good point. Well, or indeed you too, Andrew, or indeed any one of myself or Andrew or Jim. You know, like a three-way twins. Yeah, it's an album where there are not really any padding songs, are there? Which is nice, because even on good albums, you often get padding songs. So this was released in September 1988. It's a landmark release in Scottish music history, according to my notes. It transformed twin brothers Craig and Charlie Reid from a quirky acoustic folk act into international hitmakers by pairing their distinct, uncompromising Scottish accents with foot-stomping rock and deeply moving pop arrangements. They created an album that feels like a secular hymn to home, love, and identity.
Well, that's a pretty lovely way to put it.
It is, and actually, one of the things that is, very possibly, Bros and their album Push, of course. There are not many artists, many mainstream artists that sing with a so profoundly Scottish accent. And actually, as we were saying in the car on the way back, one of the great things about the Scottish accent is that it's very accurate. So even though there are sometimes quite a lot of words in the songs, it's not like listening to John Martin or Stevie Nicks, where you're not really 100% sure what's being sung. You know, that absolutely you could write the lyrics down 100% spot on, couldn't you?
And you would want to, because there are some fab lyrics in this album.
Yeah, absolutely. And as an Englishman, my favourite song on the album actually is "Cap in Hand."
Yeah.
it absolutely makes me start to get an inkling of what Scottish national, because there's no such thing as English nationalism really, because it doesn't need to be. But Scottish nationalism, the fight for independence, it starts to make sense when you hear the words in the song, I think.
Mm.
Proclaimers, identical twin brothers, Craig and Charlie Reid, born in 1962, grew up in Edinburgh, Cornwall, and Achamuti in Fife. I pronounced that wrong, no doubt. They formed the band in 1983, and they caught the public's eye with their first raw, purely acoustic 1987 debut album, This Is the Story, and its breakout hit, Letter from America, which is another great song. And I didn't realise that came before this rather than after this.
Yeah, that is interesting, because I think when you look at the way that this was it marked such a stylistic departure from their debut album, it is interesting to then kind of trace where they went from here on, considering this was their big breakout.
Yeah, and you said that this was the first song, 500 Miles, was used in Shrek?
No, that was one of the later songs.
Right, okay. But it is, I mean, it is the most famous song from the album. I think one of the weaker songs from the album, as it happens.
I saw an interview with Craig Reid where he said that the band's earnings from the song are about 5 times more than the rest of their catalogue combined.
Yeah. I remember, so we did American Pie by Don McLean a couple of months ago. And Don McLean was interviewed about this, because American Pie is one of those songs that is a bit of a jumble of words, and it could have hidden meanings, but it probably doesn't have hidden meanings. And Don McLean was asked, so what does the song mean? To which he replied, "It means I never need to work again." And this is kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Because this song is so, I guess, ubiquitous, isn't it? You hear it all the time, even now. My notes say, and whoever wrote this has really got their finger on the pulse, the album was an unexpected global juggernaut, selling over 2 million copies worldwide. The global charts, the record reached number 6 in the UK and number 3 in New Zealand. However, it found an extraordinary home in Australia, peaking at number 2 and becoming the 12th highest selling album of 1989. Craig Reid later noted that the Australian Proclaimer Mania was the biggest success they had ever experienced. The 1993 American resurgence, Sunshine and Leith, didn't chart in the US on its 1988 release, but in 1993, I'm Gonna Be, 500 Miles, was featured prominently in the Johnny Depp film Benny and June. The single rocketed to number 3 in the Billboard Hot 100, dragging the 5-year-old album up to number 31 on the Billboard 200, eventually selling 700,000 copies in the States, which is quite handy.
Just a bit.
Critics universally lauded the album's emotional transparency. Rolling Stone called it a wonderful, guileless treasure of an album, while AllMusic gave it a retrospective 4.5 out of 5 stars, praising its highly listenable blend of raw folk energy and polished pop hooks. Tremendous. Tremendous. So should we have a burst of the first track before we chat some more?
Let's go.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I heaver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's heavering to you. But I will walk
the songs on this album, I don't actually want to stop.
Yeah.
These, because they're just such toe tappers, aren't they?
I mean, we could literally just sit and do a listen through of the album where we nod appreciatively.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that would still make for a good watch.
How long yes. Well, I've got loads of additional songs on this version of it, so probably we couldn't listen to all of this.
Yeah.
So, built around a relentlessly catchy acoustic strum and an unforgettable military-style stomp, it's a joyful statement of romantic devotion. Apparently, he wrote this song in 45 minutes whilst waiting to travel to a football match. So,
well, that's quite funny because obviously it's turned out to be quite a big football song for lots of Scottish teams, hasn't it?
So, all of the Scots in the audience, let us know whether your team sings along to this one. So, I mean, that it's a great start to the album, isn't it? It's a modern day Kayleigh song. Yeah, absolutely. It really is a good little dancing number. A great start, great upbeat kind of song. And then on to, my favourite song from the album.
And mine too.
An upbeat folk rock track with sharp political teeth. It deals directly with Scottish nationalism, arguing that a nation shouldn't have to beg another for its right to govern. I can't understand why we let someone else rule our land. Cap in hand. The track saw a massive commercial resurgence in 2014 during the Scottish independence referendum, shooting back into the Scottish top 10. They must just love this, mustn't they?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is one of the best lines. I can understand why Stranraer lies so lowly. They can save a lot of points by signing Hibs goalie. I mean, what an amazing line. Absolutely amazing. So what do you think on this track then?
So I think this is both my favourite and also, not because I'm biased at all, but just the best song on the album, because it makes such a sharp point while also being so kind of conversational and witty with the lyrics. You know, at no point is it whacking you over the head, but also the point is absolutely clear, but it's done in a way that is just, you know, there are so many clever little, like the I can say Saskatchewan without starting to stutter. Like that's just such a clever, funny little line that I love. And I just think that this song, there is a live version later on in probably the album that you're using, which was played at Glasgow Barrowlands. And I mean, the crowd are just so delighted by it because it's just exactly that energy of the city, and I think that's possibly why it's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah. So on to track 3, Then I Met You, and this actually is another favorite of mine. I think this is a tremendous song. Now this was only released as a single in Australia, as no doubt as a response to the Proclaimer mania. A brilliant showcase of their signature vocal call and response strategy. It begins with a slow storytelling rhythm before bursting into a celebration of how finding love completely rescues a person from their own cynicism. Yeah, I mean, this is a tremendous song. Let's have a blast of this.
that I'd be happy, gonna be so happy, living life alone and never sharing anything. Thought that I was finished, thought that I was complete, thought that I was whole instead of being half of something. Thought that I was growing older, wiser, understanding why there's more than nothing for my friend. Thought that I was destined to be nothing, destined to be nothing in this world, and then I met you. 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 Thought that God had filled me.
We've got to listen on to the next chorus when his voice cracks, because that's one of the best bits, and it so reminds me of John Lennon in Twist and Shout.
Yes, yeah.
And that gives it that kind of authenticity that is, I guess, their hallmark.
Thought my fears were useless. Thought that he would never get the chance for me to praise him. Thought the book was written. Thought the game had ended. Thought the song was sung and I could never sing another. Thought the faith was misplaced. Thought the back was broken. Broken by a weight that I was never fit to carry. I thought I knew the city. Thought I knew all the building. And then one night I went to morning saying you were waiting. I met you. I met you. I met you. I met you.
Actually, maybe I prefer this to Cap in Hand. It is a tremendous song, absolutely tremendous song. And again, another one, you know, up on your feet, bopping around and really kind of getting into it.
I almost think this is one of those albums, though, where every time you listen to it, you sort of come across your first favourite song and you go, no, that one's definitely my favourite. And then the track kind of moves on to the next one and you go, actually, maybe this is my favourite. And then 3 songs down, you think, wow, this one's really good too. It's, I mean, I suppose that's one of the hard things as a listener when there are no padding songs. It's just very difficult to choose a favourite.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think that this is one of those albums that is it's completely unlike Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms, where there is money for nothing and everything else is padding, really. But it's an album which is so overshadowed by 500 Miles that you tend not to really think about the other songs until you put the record on. And I guess that's why this is album show number 165 or something. And this has never even cropped up on anybody's radar as an option to do up until now. And I think maybe that's because it's an album of one song in most people's minds, isn't it? Yeah. So then My Old Friend the Blues onto a real change of pace now.
Yeah, and also the only cover on the album, I believe, isn't it?
Oh, yes, originally written by Steve Earle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a great change of pace and of mood, because we've spoken about love, whether that's love of a partner or love of Scotland, and now we're into something which is altogether more soulful and downbeat, really.
Yeah.
Just when every ray of hope was gone, I should have known that you would come along. I can't believe I ever doubted you. My old friend, the blues, another lonely night. And
I mean, it's so totally different to what's come before, isn't it? It's got that kind of real Americana feel, very un-Scottish to it. Really good comment here from Rob. Yeah, there were lots of bands that focused on like harmony of this period. So the Christians, great band. The Cause, great band. Beautiful South, you know, again. Yeah, you should do, Andrew. We can subtitle the show. That's not a problem. If it's difficult for Sassenachs to understand. Yeah. So how does that song sit with you?
I think it is that lovely change of pace because you've been introduced to sort of the thesis of the album almost, but then this is you're comfortable enough with them as musicians and performers that then when the pace changes, it doesn't feel like an abrupt jump, if you know what I mean. Where it's you've been gently eased in, and now you've got something that is a totally different thing, but you yeah, I don't know. I think it still fits thematically.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that the mark of a really good album is where everything sounds like it's from the same band, but you have different styles going on. And we've seen it a few times in the show where there are bands that, good though they are, every song sounds the same, really. And here, what we've got is we've got 4 tracks, 4 very different songs in terms of pace, in terms of theme, and in terms of style. Yeah, a really good point here, Ian. Chumpawumba and tub thumping overshadowing everything else on the album, and it does happen sometimes when you get a really big hit on the album, which can be a disappointment. So I don't know when Half Time was on this album. I suspect this is still on the first side of the album.
Yeah, I imagine so.
So this is Sean, a deeply personal acoustic-led ballad written for Charlie's newborn son, born in 1987. It captures the terrifyingly beautiful weight of new parenthood and family lineage, blending specific familial pride with an overarching sense of hope for the next generation. And actually, it's really funny because reading that, it gives context that wasn't immediately obvious to me, and now it's like, yes, that makes sense.
Sean, I'd say the best one came from Tupelo, Mississippi. I'll tell you now that grown men cry and Irish girls are pretty. Sean, I'd say the best one came from Tupelo, Mississippi. I'll tell you now that grown men cry and Irish girls are pretty.
You know, every time I listen to stuff from this era, it's well enough recorded that you get to hear everything, and you get to hear just how well they can sing in tune.
Yeah.
And auto-tune was not even dreamt of in these days, and it's lovely to hear proper musicians singing and playing. Yeah, you have missed the 500 miles one, mate, but you're still here to catch the last track of side one. What was your thoughts about Sean?
I think I also didn't necessarily pick up on the theme of it until I found out the theme of it via other sources. But then I found this lovely quote from Charlie Reid where he kind of said, the song's about appreciating that you're a link in the chain and you're privileged to be so. And if there's any reason to hang around, it's family and loved ones. And I suppose it's all part of that. And I just thought, once I heard that and went back and listened to it, I thought, of course, of course. And all of a sudden, because it's obviously technically very impressive song to listen to on first listen, but when you layer over the context as well, it's just become something even more elevated.
Yeah. So we're on to Yayan's favourite song now, and this could be a favourite of mine as well, actually. So I love this, and I love the line in here, while the chief put sunshine on Leith, which I just think is a lovely little line. So here we go, Sunshine on Leith, the title track from the album and the last one on side one.
My heart was broken. My heart was broken. Sorrow, 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 sorrow. My heart was broken. My heart was broken. You saw it. You cleaned it, you touched it, you saved it. My tears are drying, my tears are drying. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. My tears are drying. My tears are drying. Your beauty and kindness made tears clear my blindness. While I'm worth the room on this earth, I will be with you. While the chief put sunshine on me, I'll thank him for his work in your birth and my birth.
So, the album's title track, an emotional masterpiece, a slow-burning, soaring ballad featuring a legendary fiddle solo by Steve Shaw. The lyrics invoke gratitude to God, who they called the chief, for a second chance at love and life. This is the Hibbs album, anthem. And it says, when 20,000 fans sing it a cappella at Easter Road Stadium, most famously after the 2016 Scottish Cup victory, it feels like a secular hymn. And I can believe that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that the BBC loved this song. They have described it as an anthem of love that has brought communities together and touched lives since its original release. And it's also become one of the most prominent songs for families to play during funeral services in Scotland.
Oh, wow.
I think, it's one of those songs where I think you can really take what you need from it. There's a lot of different ways that you can draw meaning from it.
Yeah, I think so. And that's a great way to round out side one. And I think what's interesting, looking at it breaks here, there's a very different mood to side two of the album to side one, isn't there? Much less upbeat, much slower and kind of more relaxed in many ways, I think. Although the first track is still a bit of a banger, but so here we go. Come On Nature.
I'm sure I'll stonewall things that you could never do. If she wasn't mine, if I was stepping out of lane, but she's mine and I'm in lane, and she's the best I've ever seen. Come on, nature, let me show the way that I've been feeling all along.
A nice way to start the track. A song about young man's love. What do you think on this one then?
Honestly, ever since I misheard the lyric that first time, I can't think anything else of the song. Every time I hear it, when you say it. For context, everyone, the first time Dad put this album on in the car and I heard this song, I didn't look at the title of it, and I was just so sure that I heard Come On Nietzsche, like the philosopher. And so I just have never been able to get that out of my head when I listen to this song.
Yeah, Come On Nietzsche.
But then it was, I come on Nietzsche, I don't want to read a book. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does make perfect sense. But it's another one of those misheard lyrics, which livens up an otherwise dull scenario.
Yeah.
I'm On My Way. The album's other massive crossover hit, featuring a buoyant gospel-tinged progression heavily supported by Hammond organ chords. Yeah, I mean, this is the one that was used in Shrek, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here we go. I'm On My Way. Yeah, again, you know, the problem is knowing when to pause with this, because it's just tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Yeah, what have you got on this one?
Honestly, apart from the Shrek fact, this was a little bit more difficult to find things out about.
Yeah, You haven't got a Nietzsche anecdote for this either, have you?
No, unfortunately not. It's just a great song.
Yeah. So, what do you do? A darker, more existential acoustic rock question.
Indeed.
Here we go.
Yeah, I know you're right. I see it in your fierce eyes. Me, I never thought straight since the day I had the first doubt. Yeah, I know you're right, and I'll back you to a point, pal. But I'll never be constrained by another man's ideas now. Spent too long on this road, looking for the answers, but poverty and failure aren't what I'm after. In a fight on factories, but they close the factory down, pal. Gonna find out where the heart's gone, gonna find out where the nerve's gone. What do you do when democracy fails you? What do you do when the rest can't see it's true?
Yeah, as Gordon Brown's father said to him, I think that's right, isn't it? No, it was one of the other Labour MPs. His father said to him, "You've gone posh," and that's kind of what's happened here. A tremendous song, and I think what's really interesting is that this getting on for 40 years ago, these songs were written and recorded, and now absolutely that's where we find ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah,
we've got a population or a country of people that feel dissatisfied and disaffected with what's going on. They're not being governed effectively. They don't feel that democracy is delivering what it should deliver for them. So nothing's changed. Nothing has changed.
it's a bit, I mean, there is something almost comforting in knowing that experience is not unique, but at the same time, it's also kind of miserable that we're however many years later and the feelings of discontent are still so similar.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, that's not altogether true, is it, Andrew? Because we know who's going to be on next week, and he's a bit of a rock star, if truth be known. So, an anecdote and lasting legacy from the album. The album was so narratively rich that in 2000, or narratively rather rich, that in 2007, writer Stephen Greenhorn turned it into a hit stage musical titled Sunshine on Leith. Featuring all of these songs, it follows two soldiers returning home to Leith from the army in 2013. It was adapted into a highly successful British musical film starring George Mackay. Which is...
Have you seen the film?
I have not. Have you?
I have.
Oh, is it worth a watch?
I think so, definitely.
Fantastic. And something a little bit funnier, the Bon Jovi paradox. Due to their massive US resurgence in 1993, the mild-mannered glasses-wearing acoustic twins found themselves booked to open for American glam metal giants Bon Jovi in Madison Square Garden, a hilarious visual contrast that the brothers embraced with good humor. Obviously.
Yeah.
So it's Saturday night.
This one's a good laugh.
This is a great laugh, and for anybody in the audience who hasn't isn't familiar with the song and hasn't listened to the words, it absolutely sums up inner city, drunken 1980s vibe. And I mean, the line, the drink that I had 3 hours ago has been joined by 14 others in a steady flow, is just priceless. And the way that it's written and the way that it just so perfectly flows, well, like the drinks that have been a steady flow, is just a thing of great sublime beauty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's Saturday night.
It's Saturday night, I'm feeling on song. I think I'm alright. I know I'm alright. The drink that I had 3 hours ago has been joined by 14 others in a steady flow. So let me walk straight, so let me walk straight. Don't let me feel pain, don't let me feel pain. I'm gonna scratch cards, with my key again, with my key again. 'Cause when I go home, and follow my way, if it doesn't leave my stomach, it'll split my head.
It's just a lovely, lovely song, and I've always been a great lyric listener. So I love it when the lyrics tell a really good story and when they flow really nicely. And I guess for a lot of people, they listen to the sound rather than the words of songs. So much of this stuff may not be immediately obvious until you kind of read the lyrics, and then you go, "Oh yeah, I see." So a favour of yours as well?
I think so. I mean, it feels like a really interesting departure from possibly kind of all the other songs on the album, because it is such a self-contained, like, moment in time narrative that's told in such a clever, funny way. It's almost like a comedy piece. And so it's really sticks out to me for that reason, I think.
Yeah, and I guess also it's a different, it's like a slow shuffle in terms of the style of the song, isn't it? So it's kind of quite different from the others, which have tended to be either traditional ballads or quite upbeat rocky numbers. So yeah, I mean it does stand out, and it's I mean, I was going to say it's the funny song on the album, but lots of the songs have funny bits in them.
Yeah.
And I think that the storytelling ability of the brothers is just fantastic, because every song tells a very clear story, and it's almost although it would be comedy poetry, it's almost a poetic, like Dylan and Lou Reed, writing songs that could be published as poetry.
Yeah, but I think as well there's something that's refreshingly unconvoluted about the lyrics, because in the same way that their accents are very precise and easy to kind of pick up exactly what they're saying and you could write down, you also can it doesn't require like poetry analysis to understand exactly what it is they're trying to get across in each song. And I mean that in an incredibly positive way, because I think there's something about that clarity of message that is really interesting to listen to a whole album that's like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Teardrops, shortest track on the album, acting as a brief country-tinged palate cleanser.
Teardrops running down your face, teardrops running down your face, diamonds of water and salt from your body, coming down to meet my kisses. Teardrops running down your face, teardrops running down your face, staining your skin and my skin and beginning the stories that you can't begin. The way I feel could be despised, but it's the vision that I prize. Teardrops, teardrops. I'm not trying to make you feel pain or joy to make the tears flow, but when they roll unashamed, they move me so. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah.
Every song, it just like you said, it you listen to it and you go, actually, this is one of my favorites. They're all so good, aren't they?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that about that one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's a good song and it's an interesting little interlude, but to me, it feels like the least substantial song of the album in some ways. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but just it is a little like it's almost squished between the songs on either side of it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it is, I mean, fantastic showcase for their voices and their harmony.
Oh yeah,
because it's so sparsely accompanied, just a single guitar, and you get to hear a phenomenal vocal range and power, but also they've got an incredible purity to the harmonies, and I think that sometimes pop musicians are very much underrated in terms of the value of the music that they write. And here, this proper music, this stuff, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm sorry that was a disappointment for you.
It's not a disappointment. It's just not one of my favorites. And on this album, it's a pretty tough competition.
Yeah. Okay. So on to the last track, Oh Jean. High energy closer builds from a spoken bluesy groove into an ecstatic vocal shredding tribute to a woman named Jean. It ends the record on a raw, sweaty high note, perfectly encapsulating the band's live energy. Do you know, actually, probably only 3 or 4 years ago, they were playing at Ipswich and we didn't go and see them, and we should have done. So
well, they were playing at a festival up in Glasgow this summer.
And you didn't go?
I didn't go.
No.
Which is a regret of mine now, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go, Oh Jean. Let's just, the opening lyrics for this. I've never been lucky with girls, I confess. Don't know who to blame for my lack of success. Is just a great intro and absolutely sums up the humour of these lads, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've never been lucky with girls, I confess. Don't know who to blame for my lack of success. Cause even with ones up the back of a bus, there was always a risk of a slap in the bus. But Jean, oh Jean, you make me get lucky with. Oh Jean, you make me get lucky with you. The first time I met you, it crossed my mind. The next time I saw you, there wasn't the time. The third time I saw you, I thought that I should. The fourth time I met you, I knew that I would. Oh, Jean, you let me get lucky with you. Oh, Jean, you let me get lucky with you. Lover, I love her, I love her. Lover, I
So I've just been glancing at some of my other notes, and their first album was recorded in Scotland, and the special remix was done by Jerry Rafferty, actually. But for this album, they had a complete shift, and they travelled to Chipping Norton in the Cotswolds to record this at Chipping Norton Recording Studios in Oxfordshire. And they teamed up with producer Pete Wingfield and used a full rock backing band for the first time. So a very big shift in terms of how they were presenting the music,
including as well backing by members of Fairport Convention and Dexter's Midnight Runners.
Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah, and I think that so I haven't listened to the first album particularly, but I'm very familiar with A Letter from America, and they haven't lost any of that raw Scottish young guys vocal led kind of feel moving here, but it's obviously a much more sophisticated album, and it certainly has stood the test of time, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think, you know, as much as you said about the it's Saturday Night being quite rooted in place and time, I do kind of think that none of these songs are dated with cultural references and that sort of thing. They all are applicable to any time. We kind of discussed that earlier when we were talking about what do you do and how it's still relevant now. But I think all of them resonate in different ways, and that's a real testament to songwriting ability, but also just the style of the music that feels unpretentious in a way.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, because they're talking about quite big issues. You know, they're singing about love, they're singing about loss, they're singing about politics, they're singing about Scottish independence. You know, those are quite timeless topics, really, aren't they? No, don't say that, for heaven's sake. Pete Wingfield produced Dex's first album too. Well, there we go. Hence the fact probably why they found themselves as part of the backing band. So there we are. Another album, another day, another dollar, and all that. And what a fantastic choice. Thank you, Madelaine. It's just absolutely brilliant.
It's absolutely my pleasure. I mean, just when we were listening to it the other week, I just thought, surely, you know, Dad's already done this on that album. And then you told me that you hadn't. So
yeah, well, I'm glad that you spotted the opportunity and grasped it. So next week, I'm being joined by Andrew Slesser, and we're going to do Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie.
Oh, that's a good album.
Yeah, well, you see, I don't really know it at all, and I only started to realise just how magnificent David Bowie was after he was dead. So up until that point, I was always a bit like, yeah, I'm not really into Bowie. And then I guess I've seen loads of things about him, seen him being interviewed, I mean, what a profoundly clever man he was.
Oh, yeah.
See him talking about various things going on around the world, and see him talking about, and the thing he did on Extras with Ricky Gervais. So fun. He didn't take himself too seriously, just tremendous. So that will be a very interesting album for me. So
and I'll be tuning in.
Until then, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, everybody in the audience, and let's have a little bit of Cap in Hand to play out with, shall we?
Nice.